A dominating center who never stopped pursuing his childhood dreams.
I just remember the teacher asking 3 things you want to be when you grow up, and I just put basketball, basketball, basketball.
Whiteside finishing. One shot, another block.
This rising big man in the middle has taken a journey around the world.
You could see right then and there pretty much what he was going to become.
Plus by Hassan Whiteside. That's what he does.
I took it as a learning experience, just knowing to appreciate every day you got on the court.
Like I kept telling him, you were meant to do this.
His unique skills and steadfast determination landed him in Miami.
Alley Whiteside to the rim.
He made the most of his opportunity, and that says something about him.
One thing he was always serious about was being great.
There it is, the triple-double for Whiteside.
We caught lightning in the bottle at the right time.
So I'm going to keep protecting the paint like I protect my dreams.
Inside the Heat, Hassan Whiteside. Welcome to Inside the Heat. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eric Reed. It was just before Thanksgiving in 2014 when the Miami Heat signed Hassan Whiteside, and all of Heat Nation's still thankful they did. Hassan was originally a second-round draft pick by the Sacramento Kings in 2010, but he wound up playing just 19 games in his 2 seasons there. And prior to arriving in Miami, Hassan was out of the NBA for 2 seasons, playing in Lebanon, China, and the D-League. His sudden emergence last season and this season has been one of the Heat's most unique stories ever. A story that continues to unfold, 1 game, 1 block, and 1 dunk at a time. But in order to really understand his amazing journey, let's go back to where it all began for Hassan Whiteside in a small town in North Carolina.
What's up, Mr. Dawson? I'm good, man. You know, I'm coming in here to show them around my hometown, so everything's good.
You play for the Heat, man. You my favorite player, man. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man.
My favorite place to eat, Substation, and I've been coming here since I was a little kid. I don't know what they put in their subs, but it's amazing.
You grew up in rural Gastonia, North Carolina. What was it like growing up there?
It was different, you know, and it wasn't like a big city. I just played basketball, just rode my bike through the neighborhood.
Hassan was born in Gaston County. He was 11 pounds, 2 ounces, 23.5 inches long. Him and his brothers always was curious. They looked around and they were adventurous.
This is my first house I lived in, and as you can see, it's not really much here. You know, it's basically out in the woods. I remember one time we found a python that was just like right in this area. Like, it had to be like 10 feet long.
A curious Hassan Whiteside was raised in a single-parent household by his mom, Debbie, alongside his 6 siblings. With only 1 sister, he naturally gravitated toward his brothers.
I had a really close relationship with my brother right a little bit older than me, and then my younger brother that's right under me, just because they were so close to me in age.
When did basketball enter the life of Hassan Whiteside?
When I was like 5 or 6, I just remember playing in the backyard, just playing my brother one-on-one. It's a house over there now, but we had a basketball court over there. Man, he used to block my shot into the woods. I used to have to go get it over and over.
I knew how to get in his head, so he was always a step behind. But as time went on, I could see the growth in his game develop.
Once I realized that I could be my older brothers, and I just felt like I could be anybody. It's been 20 years since I came in here, and then I seen this stuff, so it's kind of surreal.
You went to Forest High Elementary. Any childhood memories from those days?
I remember we had a kickball I used to use as a basketball, so we used to kind of take the kickball game into a basketball game. This is where we used to just play at and everything, and that's why I first kissed my first girl at, right there, in this little tunnel right here. I don't even think my mom knew that, but that's why I kissed my first girl. I just remember the teacher asking 3 things you want to be when you grow up, and I just put basketball, basketball, basketball. That's how determined I was for that dream to come alive.
He came home and they laughed at him, and I came back up to school and talked to the teacher. I said, you know, don't shoot down the dream. Whatever he wants to do, he can do. And look at him now.
Your older brother, Anthony, take you to Lineberger Park. What are some of your memories from playing basketball there?
You know, we used to try to just run 2-on-2 with anybody, you know. I mean, it didn't matter if it was a grown man or somebody my age.
I remember a time we went to Lineberger Park. I got picked up, but he wasn't getting picked up, so I picked him up on my team. We playing, and just seeing how he carried himself against a whole lot of older players and stuff. After that moment, I realized he was really good at basketball.
When you were about 10 years old, walking with your sister, you had a scary incident that really changed your life and could have changed it a lot worse.
We was walking to the store and we was crossing the street. It's like one of the main streets in the Gastonia. I looked down here and I seen a car coming. I just got scared and like pulled away and tried to run right back across the street. And like over here, cars came over and the car just hit me. And I landed over here in this ditch. I broke my leg in like 3 different places. I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be here right now.
That was scary because I was called at work that 2 of my children was on the way to the hospital. When I got there, they were cutting his clothes off of him and taking him to surgery.
What did the doctors tell you? Do you remember?
They said just the growth plate in my leg was so badly messed up.
They told me he'd be in a wheelchair for like 6 months. You know, you didn't know if he was gonna be able to use that leg again. They had told me one leg would be shorter than the other.
How did you overcome that?
I just prayed for it, you know, I just hope for the best. Ever since then, my mom might say, like, she felt like I was here for something.
Hassan Whiteside first began playing the game of basketball as a kid growing up in Gastonia, North Carolina. It wasn't until he was a little bit older that he would start to hone those basketball skills. And his first organized experience came when he joined a local AAU team before moving to New Jersey, where he played his junior year at Eastside High School in Newark. Hassan returned home to North Carolina for his senior season and went to a year of prep school at the Patterson School in Lenoir, North Carolina. Team that went 34-2 and earned the #1 national ranking. Hassan kept getting better and bigger and was being noticed by college recruiters. A growth spurt changed his game and his life. A young Hassan Whiteside spent his early teenage years attending 3 different high schools in Gastonia, North Carolina, where fitting in was a challenge.
Moving around so much, I didn't have many friends, you know, and I just kind of always kept basketball, so that was pretty much my closest friend.
Through the never-ending changes in location, Hassan was also experiencing changes in his body that would ultimately modify the way he played the game of basketball.
He grew like 8 inches in 1 year. He was actually growing at a pace where you can almost see him grow.
Here you are, you're a young man, you're coming up in the game, and all of a sudden, you're getting this size.
You know, I just had to figure out how to play. You know, it's a whole different aspect. You know, I had to figure out how to be a center.
With his sudden growth spurt, Hassan's dad convinced him to join him in Newark, New Jersey, and attend Eastside High School, where he would take advantage of his newfound height.
When he went to New Jersey to play, that was his actual first years of playing organized basketball.
You really explode as a basketball player. I think you averaged 19 points, 10 rebounds, and over 5 blocks a game. Tell us about what you got out of your year with your dad in Newark.
Basically, I just became a better basketball player. They had me play in JV and varsity so I could get as much experience as possible. I just stuck with it and just slowly but surely got better. And then I moved back down to North Carolina.
Back home in North Carolina, Hassan joined the United Celtics AAU team in Charlotte.
Hassan Whiteside was unknown, even when he came to the program.
When he started getting in the AAU, I could see a transition to more physical, getting more confident.
He improved a lot from year to year to year, but that came from, I think, when we instilled in him. You can't teach his size and length. So the other thing was, you know, if you're going to be this big and this tall, you know, be a presence.
It was my first year playing AAU. I got to experience what it was like to be a national basketball player, and that's what kind of got me to the Patterson School.
The Patterson School became Hassan's new home, and he led that team to a 34-2 record and a #1 national ranking. That's probably a great experience early on in your life of playing on a winning team. What did that teach you, and what do you remember from that?
We used to play a 1-3-1 on defense, and I used to be in the middle of the paint and on the offense, and I used to just try to get every rebound, you know, because our coach used to say, if you want the ball, you got to go get it.
He was coming to his own, and you could see right then and there pretty much what he was going to become.
One thing he was always serious about was being great. He always felt like he was just as good as any of the top kids in the country. That's what he always thought.
And so it was time to take his game to the next level.
One of the schools that really took high interest in him was Marshall University.
He chose Marshall because he needed someone to teach him about his height.
Darren Tillis playing 13 years in the NBA and playing with the Celtics. I had another big man coach that knew the ropes of playing in the NBA because that always was my dream.
Hassan's dream was taking shape at Marshall University, and he would soon claim national attention with 3 triple-doubles in his freshman season.
Whiteside, there's another block. That's his 10th of the game. Whiteside, another block, and a swat for Whiteside.
And watching him go up and block shots and rebound was unbelievable.
I don't think nobody expected him to play as well as he did.
Whiteside finishing. Whiteside. Oh, pretty hook.
I think the nation was kind of watching the records he was breaking. I always knew he had the potential to do the kind of stuff he was doing.
But nobody could predict that Whiteside would finish the season as the nation's leading shot blocker with 182 blocks, the most ever by a freshman in a single season. What did that mean to you to set the freshman record for shot blocks?
Oh, it was big. A lot of people didn't think I was going to be able to do any of them things, and I was able to prove them wrong.
After just one extremely productive season in college basketball, Hassan Whiteside decided he would declare for the NBA draft to try to finally fulfill his lifelong dream.
I wanted to do it within 1 or 2 years, so I just felt like it was time to take that step.